They say Islam is violent, that it's unfair to women, that it's outdated, that it spreads by force, that Muslims can't think for themselves, can't be friends with non-Muslims, can't be modern. And most people, they believe it, because that's what they've been told, over and over, in headlines, in movies, in textbooks. But how much of it is actually true? Let's pause the noise and talk facts. This isn't about convincing you, it's about clearing the fog. Because when you actually look at what Islam teaches, not what people say about it, but what it really stands for, you'll realize how far the truth has been buried, and even initiate divorce, more than 1,400 years ago. So here it is, 15 of the most common myths about Islam that people still believe, and the truth that most have never heard. Let's begin. They say Islam oppresses women, that it strips them of rights, freedom, and choice. But here's the real story. Islam gave women the right to own property, run businesses, inherit wealth, get an education. At a time when women in many societies weren't even considered full human beings, Islam was giving them financial, social, and legal independence. Then comes the classic, Muslims are violent. No, Islam is built on the foundation of mercy. It's not a war. It's fighting your own ego, overcoming bad habits, and striving to become a better version of yourself. The Quran says, if you kill one innocent life, it's as if you've killed all of humanity. Those who hurt innocents in the name of Islam are not following Islam. They're re-violating its core. And then there's jihad. Most people think it means holy war, but jihad simply means struggle. And the biggest jihad? What about how Islam spread? If it's not chosen, it's not hijab. They say it was through violence. But if that were true, how did places like Indonesia, which has the largest Muslim population today, become Muslim? Not through war, through trade, through character, through trust. Next, the hijab. People think Muslim women are forced to wear it. But hijab is meant to be a choice, not a chain, the Quran says. There's no compulsion in religion. Real modesty is never forced. Islam doesn't rely on visuals. It focuses on belief and action. Another big one. Islam is just 1,400 years old. The only thing that elevates you is your character. But Muslims believe that Islam didn't start with the Prophet Muhammad. It started with Adam. Every prophet, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, came with the same core message. One God, one purpose. One path of submission to him. What started with Adam was completed through Muhammad. And what about that crescent moon and star symbol you always see? It's not Islamic. It was adopted centuries later by the Ottomans. The Prophet never used it. Quran never mentions it. Then there's the claim that Islam discriminates between people. That the Prophet Muhammad said, no Arab is better than a non-Arab. No white person is better than a black person. Islam came to end racism, tribalism, classism, not support it. Now, Sharia law. You've heard it described as harsh, extreme, terrifying. But most of Sharia is about mercy, fairness, and daily life. How you treat your neighbor, run a business, raise a family. Punishments exist, but under strict conditions and only when justice absolutely demands it. People also say Islam is against science. That couldn't be further from the truth. Muslim scholars gave the world algebra, optics, surgical tools, chemistry, astronomy, and the Quran constantly says, reflect, think, observe, explore. Here, it's one of the strangest myths out there. Muslims can lie to non-Muslims, it is allowed. That's false, completely. Lying is a major sin in Islam. Taqiyya is a historical concept that applied only in extreme, life or death situations. It's about protection, not permission to deceive. Then there's the idea that Islam is only for Arabs. Only 15% of Muslims today are Arab. The largest Muslim country in the world, Indonesia. Islam is global, across every culture, color, and continent. Another myth, Muslims worship Muhammad. Wrong again. Muslims worship God alone, not the Prophet. Yes, they love him, follow his example, and send peace upon him. But worship, that's for Allah only. And then they say, Muslims can't be friends with people of other faiths. Loud, clear. That's not what Islam teaches. The Prophet had respectful relationships with people of all backgrounds, Jewish neighbors, Christian allies, and mutual protection agreements. The rule? Treat everyone with fairness and kindness, as long as there's mutual respect. Last one. Ramadan is just about not eating. If that's all you think it is, you've missed the point. Ramadan is about self-control, empathy, discipline, spiritual cleansing. It's about becoming more aware of your actions, your blessings, and your connection with the one who gave you everything. So now you know. 15 of the most common myths. Debunked the lies. But the truth, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. If this changed even one of your beliefs, you know what to do. Subscribe. You'll want more.